Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. Back going to show you another one of the great homestead boxes here. We just got this thing in a couple of days ago and I literally loved it. We opened it up right quick to see. We didn't really go through a lot of it. We just opened it up and picked up the paper here on to look at. And I will tell you, it is called the Healthy Garden Essentials. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. With as much trouble as everybody's having with gardening now, this is probably one of the better boxes for this time of the year. It had, insects attacking everything, viruses hitting stuff, wild animals hitting stuff, and from looking at this thing here covers a lot of that so that we can have a more healthy garden. So it is called the Healthy Garden Essentials. Now we're going to look at it here and see what's in it. We'll open this baby up. If I can get this box to stay out of the way. Of course, we got the paper that's always in there as packing material. We got this product called Insect Netting by Agribon. It's a netting stuff that you put over your plants. It's a kind of a, we have a row cover stuff here that we use. It's similar to this. It's more like looks like a wetting tool, I guess if you want to call it that. But this one here is 118 inches by 50 foot, so you should be able to cover one 50-foot row up, or actually several rows up, to be honest with you, at 118 inches wide. So we do have that. I'll stick that over to the side. Then we have, and I'm very familiar with this, we have the Diatomaceous Earth. Now this is the Red Lake Earth, Red Lake variety. And it has calcium bentonite in this one. It is a food grade. This is a 6-pound container. You can use this for insect control, the soft-bodied insects and stuff like that. It's we've used a lot of diatomaceous earth on our place here. We use it to worm animals. We put it on some of our vegetables, put it around our vegetables to get rid of soft-bodied insects, and we've had some luck with it. Now this particular product here comes out of Canada. Now is it the best as far as getting rid of insects as good as some chemicals? Probably not, because you have to reapply it after it rains, and the downside to it is it gets rid of good insects as well as bad ones. But at the same time, it is a good insect control in the garden. Now we have, let's see here, oh, this is nice, some yellow sticky traps. You can actually place these around your garden, and because they're yellow in the color, the insects will go to them and they will stick to it. Probably one of the better organic choices that you can use for insect control in the garden is these sticky traps. Now we've used a lot of these when I was in the timber industry, getting beetles and stuff like that, so we could do a count on beetles and know stuff about them. This is good for greenhouses. If you got a little bit of a pest control in your greenhouse, you can put in it, like take a head of broccoli and you can put a little one of these sticky traps right up above the broccoli head, just stick it up in it, and the insects that come to the broccoli head will get stuck on the sticky trap. Just one of the things I've done. So it will work. You can stick it in if you got insects, like it's got a rose on the front of it here, if you got roses in a pot growing, you can put a sticky thing in there with a little stick sticking off of it. Catch some of the insects in the roses when they go in there. But the yellow sticky traps, I do really like these. Now this is one of my favorites that I've used over the years for organic control of insects. Now we come to this is what we got here. All right, this is by Monterey, Complete Disease Controlled, Ready to Use. In other words, this is just ready. It comes in a handy squirt bottle. It's ready to squirt on there. I'll get it up here. Maybe you can get a little better look at it. It has a tag on the back of it that tells what it is. It is a, if I can get it here where I can read, it is a bactericide and a biofungicide ready to use. I don't know what the wait period on it is, if it even has any. Some of them will say that you can use them up to the day of harvest, but I will not tell you that on this until I actually have time to go through it, research it, and look at it. I'm pretty sure if the Homestead Box recommends it, that it's really a good product. And I thought maybe I would see, says here you can use it on house plants, tropical plants, flower plants, vegetable shrubs, fruits, nuts, and ornamentals, and all that type of stuff. Pre-mixed, ready to go. Okay, let's moving along here. We have a garden planner in here. Now this is pretty nice. It talks about, there's also, actually there's two things inside this package here. I'm not going to open it up just yet, but there's a garden planner on the back with a scale where you can actually, the lighting's probably not going to be the best, but where you can slide it along, and it tells you what vegetables, what month they're recommended to plant in and stuff like that, like sweet corn, potatoes, melons, and peppers, and you slide the little scale along and it'll show you for the month of August which ones of them should be planted in there, which one's a fall crop, which one's a spring crop, and stuff like that. So that's really a handy thing to have. And then there's some information here about scat proofing your garden. I use, this may sound crazy, but listen, hear me out. I have used raccoon urine in my garden before, because if I have a problem with rabbits and stuff like that coming in my garden, a lot of times you can take a cotton ball and put some raccoon urine around the edges of the garden and the rabbits will quit eating stuff. The downside is if you have a raccoon somewhere in the area, then the coon may come to it and do as much damage as the rabbits do. But so far I've not had to deal with that. When we do have a coon damage, then I would usually use something like coyote urine or fox urine and stuff like that. Seems to help some, you know, but you know, I haven't read the book. This is by Story, which is a very good company that puts out some really good information. I do plan on opening this up and reading it and seeing if they have any recommendations. And if they do, in some future videos that I'll be doing here at Deep South Homestead, I may talk about scat proofing your garden. And some of the techniques that they say, because I have a horrible problem here with raccoons and possums getting in my corn when I plant it. I usually end up having to set a lot of steel traps, and I do end up catching a lot of coons and a lot of possums and eradicating them. But if there's a better way to do it, then this book shows it, then I'm going to probably go that route. And let's see what else we have here. Another, this is by Hall's Tool here. This is called a micro boost. I am a little bit familiar with this. You can add it to your soil. It is it boosts the microbes in the soil, really helps your plants to get off to a real good start. It's a liquid. If I'm not mistaken, I got to find out from Travis and Greg and them, but if I'm not mistaken, this product can be used in the irrigation system that you put out in your garden to help boost the plants. It has a lot of ingredients in it. It has boron, copper, sulfur, manganese, iron, you know, molybdenum, and stuff like that, zinc and different things to help boost the I'm going to call them micro minerals in the soil that most people don't think about. They think about the three big ones, you know, the phosphorus and nitrogen and stuff like that. They think about those and the potash, but they don't hardly ever stop and think about plants need copper and zinc, and they need all these, we call them micronutrients, but they're minerals that these plants really need. And if this micro boost puts that back in there, then that's a good thing to have a healthy plant in healthy soil. Most diseases are caused by unhealthy soil, and I'm no exception to that. A lot of my soils have disease problems, and it's probably because I don't do the things that I probably should do. But hopefully next year we're going to get set up where if we can order the tank from Hall's Tool and get the fertilizing tank from, I guess you call it a fertilizing tank, where the water goes into it and pushes the fertilizer out of it. That's the one thing that we lack on our garden here, and the fertilizers to go with it, to see how it works here in the Deep South in Zone 8, and see if that would really boost our gardens, because our job here at Deep South Homestead is to help you guys figure out better ways to grow your crops. box. And I think that the Micro Boost, if we can get it set up where we can use it, might actually be the key. So that's a good thing that's in this box. Now this box is a really good box. Now there's another thing here called a, what is this? Organic Vegetable IPM Toolkit. Okay, it has all different types of insects on them. It tells you chewing insects, chewing pests, and what the names of them are, what they look like. Now that's really interesting. I really like this. They have sucking insects and stuff like that, and it really helps to, I don't know if we can get that up there where you can actually see it with the lighting like it is, but I tell you what, we'll take some pictures of it, and as I'm talking about it, we'll put them up where you can get a really close look at them. I'll be able to have them out of these plastic packs, because this, I'm going to look and see if they have a name for it here. This is called an Integrated Pest Management IPM Slider. So something that comes from it actually comes from the Extension Service of Alabama. It looks like. Looks like it's something that I'm gonna be really interested in this one. So that's a good deal. Let's look here and see what else we got here. We got some Monterey horticultural oil that controls aphids, mites, scales, whiteflies, and other soft-bodied insects. Year-round usage, dormant and growing season. You can use it in a lot of different ways. It is a fungicide, an insecticide, and a miticide, all in one. So it's for organic gardening. So if it's for organic gardening, it's got to be a pretty good thing to use. I'm going to be doing a little bit more research into it. And probably we're going to start using this stuff in our garden here, because we're having a lot of problems with aphids and mites and stuff like that now. White flies and stuff like that, and soft-bodied insects are starting to show up now. So I'm probably going to start having to use some of this. I might have to get me a little small sprayer where I can, just for these particular chemicals that we're going to be using here, and oils, just so I don't mix it with anything that's harmful to the plant later down the road. So that's another product in this box. Let's see. Oh, we even have another one in here. Let's see what this one is. This one's called it's by Hoss Tool. It is a fish garden fertilizer. So, yes, it is 2% nitrogen, and it has phosphate and potash in it. So this is a liquid fish fertilizer. It's a 2-3-1. I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, Travis or Greg will probably have to tell me. They may comment in this video if they watch it. If this particular one can be used in the liquid fertilizing system I'm talking about using next year in our garden, to see if we can boost our plant growth up on the beds with the black plastic and the drip tape underneath it. This is something that we're going to be looking into doing. And I'm believing that this liquid fish stuff is something that can be used. If it is, I'll be keeping all this stuff here that's the fertilizers, and plus I'll be checking with Greg and Travis over at Hoss Tool to see if they have recommendations on liquid fertilizers that they would recommend that we use for our zone to really boost our plant growth. So that looks like all that's in the Homestead box this time, guys. Really a good Homestead box for gardening. I'm excited about it. Let me put it that way, because it deals with a lot of pest problems and insect problems and stuff like that. A lot of management for the garden. I think that that's probably the key to a successful garden. I know proper soil nutrition and proper pest control is the key to healthy plants. And like I mentioned in the video earlier, micronutrients and minerals are things that a lot of times we fail to pay attention to, because most of the soil tests do not tell you about those nutrients. You basically a lot of times have to look at the plant and see if you see certain things about that plant, certain things about the leaves and the color of the plants and the cell structure of the plants and things like that to know what's actually missing in the soil. So, guys, check out the Homestead box. I think you'll enjoy them if you subscribe to them. A lot of people keep telling us, Danny, they're just really pricey. Well, if you went and bought all this stuff here individually and paid shipping to get it all to your place, and it is all necessary to grow a healthy garden, you would probably spend as much or more money. When this, you can just get a subscription and it's sent to you. Now, I do admit that a lot of times we don't know exactly what's coming each month, but they do a fantastic job about picking the time of the year it is and what's really important in gardening and homesteading and stuff like that. They send a lot of fantastic products out, tools, and none of their stuff is cheap. That's one thing I like about Hall's Tool and the Homestead Box. The things that they send out are not cheap made stuff. The things that we've got from them are heavy, rigid. I've not had to throw anything away. I've not had anything break. I mean, they've all been top quality products. So I guess the bottom line is this. If you want good stuff, you just have to pay for it. I know anything on my homestead here, people go, my gosh, you spent a lot of money on that. And I'm like, well, I have rules on my homestead. I had rules when I was in construction. If I build anything, it's with steel, concrete, or ground contact treated material. I do not use anything else if I know it's that. Now, I am dealing with a company right now about some material that they sold me that was supposed to be one thing and it wasn't, and ended up being something else. I had to get some, stuff replaced about that. But normally, you don't see me using junk when I build something. I usually use the best material because, hey, do it once, do it right. You don't have to do it again, is my philosophy. I have tools in my shop I've had for 25 or 30 years, and they still work just as good today as they did the day I got them. It's because I bought quality stuff. So, guys, I'm not going to keep going, but this was a nice review for the Homestead Box. If you like one, check them out, homesteadbox.com. They have 2 or 3 different packages you can buy, and they even have some old boxes there sometimes that people just didn't purchase. If you like one of the older ones, they'll have them up on the site. You can go there and maybe purchase one of the older ones that you like and you didn't get a chance to get. So, guys, go check them out. And thank you again from Deep South Homestead.